Shenzhou 23 docks successfully with space station. More than 20 injured in a bus crash. And scores still missing after building collapse in the Philippines. Good evening and welcome to TVB News. Shenzhou 23 has successfully docked with the Tiangong space station in the early hours of today. The spaceship was launched at 11:08 p.m. on Sunday. The three-crewed spacecraft includes payload specialist Lai Ka-ying, the first Hong Kong astronaut to travel to space. Most Night reports.
3、2、1，点火！
The Shenzhou 23 crewed spacecraft using the Long March 2 FY-23 carrier rocket blasted off on time at 11:08 p.m. on Sunday from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in northwest China. After the launch, the spaceship separated from a rocket and entered its designated orbit. The three astronauts in this mission are Commander and Flight Engineer Zhu Yangzhu, spacecraft pilot Zhang Zhiyuan, and payload specialist Lai Ka-ying from Hong Kong. Lai is not only the first Hong Kong-born astronaut, but she is also China's first female payload specialist. According to the China Manned Space Agency, the spacecraft docked with the Tiangong space station at 2:45 a.m. on Monday after a flight of about 3.5 hours. At 5:13 a.m., the Shenzhou 23 crew came out from their capsule and entered the space station to meet their colleagues, the Shenzhou 21 astronauts, who had spent 204 days in orbit by Sunday.
中国空间站 永远值得期待！
The six astronauts took a group picture to mark the moment. They will live together in the station for about a week to conduct a handover. The Shenzhou 23 crew will carry out more than 100 new science and application experiments over their stay, including the multispectral imaging carbon observatory camera developed by the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Apart from experiments, the crew will handle cargo transfers as well as install and retrieve external facilities. Moments 9, TVB News.
Chief Executive John Lee has congratulated the successful launch of Shenzhou 23, adding Hong Kong people are proud of payload specialist Lai Ka-ying. Chief Executive John Lee was watching the live broadcast of the Shenzhou 23 launch last night. He emphasized that this mission was extremely significant, being both the first manned flight mission during the 15th five-year plan period and the first time a payload specialist from the Hong Kong SCR participated, making all Hong Kong citizens feel excited and proud. Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry Sun Dong said with Lai Ka-ying on board Shenzhou 23, it perfectly demonstrates Hong Kong's integration into and serving the overall national strategy. Lai Ka-ying's sister says Lai describes herself as a bee and likes team-building work. Born and raised in Hong Kong, Lai is originated from Shunde District in Guangdong Province. Speaking to a mainland media, Lai's sister depicts the astronaut as mild-tempered and patient. In 2024, Lai was selected as a payload expert during the recruitment for the fourth batch of preparatory astronauts. In August that year, Lai went to Beijing for training. To support Lai, the sister says the entire family took turns to take care of her three children who are still in primary school. At least 24 people were injured in two traffic accidents that happened within 10 minutes of each other on Qinghuai Highway, with one incident involving a Kowloon motorbus ramming into a construction vehicle. Dashcam footage showed the KMB double-decker traveling on Qinghuai Highway before slamming into a construction vehicle. After which the two vehicles continued sliding forward for another 100 meters. A construction staff managed to avoid the crash just in time. Rescue personnel were promptly deployed on site, treating scores of bus passengers who were stranded on the side of the road. Some required neck braces. Another passenger was seen bleeding from their mouth. Sources said the bus driver was trapped in his vehicle until his eventual rescue. The double-decker suffered extensive damage with its windshield partially shattered. Parts of the construction vehicle even managed to pierce into the bus. The incident happened at around 2 p.m. when the construction vehicle was parked in the middle of the highway while handling another traffic accident involving a city bus and a truck. Just 10 minutes later, a Kowloon motor bus traveling from Wanchai to Tuen Mun via the 960 route crashed into an engineering vehicle near Princess Margaret Hospital on Tsinghua Highway. Its driver and more than 20 passengers were injured and sent to Princess Margaret Hospital and Yanchai Hospital for treatment. 4 people have died and 17 others are missing when a 9-story hotel collapsed while under construction in the northern Philippine city of Angeles City in Pampanga Province. Rescuers pulled out 3 people from an immense pile of rubble that was all that remained of the hotel Monday. Tracy Furness has more.
A massive pile of rubble is all that remains of a hotel that is under construction in Angeles City, the Philippines, Monday. Rescue workers scrambled to find those trapped under the mass of concrete, twisted iron bars and aluminium scaffolding. 2 were found alive but could not be immediately extricated. As of Monday, at least 1 Malaysian tourist is dead and at least 21 mostly workers were trapped in the rubble, according to officials. At least 24 workers either managed to dash out of the building, where they mostly slept on the ground floor, or were rescued after it crumbled to the ground around 2:30 a.m. The massive pile of rubble lays in a crowded neighborhood of budget hotels, cafes, spas and rural houses outside the former U.S. Clark Air Force Base, which closed in the early 1990s and is about 80 kilometers north of Manila. The Malaysian tourist died and another guest was injured in a lodging house that was partly hit by debris from the collapsing building, according to fire officials. Leah Mendoza Castillo was among those awaiting news. Her husband is a missing worker at the site. What I want, since this already happened, I hope they can rescue or dig up those who are trapped inside the rubble, alive or dead. Please hurry up, she said. National Police Chief said his force will support an ongoing investigation to determine the cause of the incident and possible violations of safety and building regulations. The former U.S. base has become a bustling industrial and tourism enclave called the Clark Freeport Zone and is still surrounded by remnants of U.S. base era with bars, nightclubs, tattoo shops and budget hotels. Tracy Furness, TVB News.
Rescue efforts continue as China's city of Chongqing suffered severe rainstorm damage over the weekend. Heavy rain hit 22 districts and counties in Chongqing since Saturday, and the water levels of many rivers in the municipality have exceeded warning levels. In the worst-hit district of Yongquan, 3 people were killed and 17 remain missing. Downpours triggered mudslides during the storm, and roads to the main affected areas are inundated, blocking some rescue vehicles. This local store owner says when he opened the door Saturday morning, the water was already very deep and he had to rush things to the upper shelves. But soon, water was thigh-deep and some store items were ruined. The China National Commission for Disaster Reduction activated a Level 4 emergency response for floods and geological disasters in Chongqing. The Ministry of Emergency Management has dispatched a work team to the disaster-hit areas to assess the situation on the ground and assist local disaster relief efforts. Chongqing's hilly terrain, combined with heavy seasonal rainfall, makes it one of China's most landslide-prone regions. Footage of the explosion in a coal mine in Shanxi province that killed at least 82 people has been released. CCTV footage shows that at 7:29 p.m. last Friday, the explosion occurred suddenly, generating a massive shockwave. Smoke and dust enveloped the site. Injured victims recalled that the explosion came abruptly, and they were thrown into the air by the shockwave. The rescue personnel who entered the mine found that the actual conditions underground did not match the design plans, and there were hidden tunnels not marked on the design plans, increasing the difficulty of the search and rescue operation. And still ahead, U.S. top diplomat and Iran disagree on when peace deal could be reached. Funeral takes place for a Pakistani blast victim. And Convention Center hosts Illustration and Creative Arts Expo. Welcome back. A deal appears to be emerging between the United States and Iran to end the war and open the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. President Donald Trump said over the weekend it had been largely negotiated. But Tehran said on Monday the agreement is not imminent. Tracy Furness reports.
Speaking from New Delhi, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio called negotiations involving the United States and Iran a work in progress as he continued his first official visit to India.
We're still a work in progress. We have what I think is a pretty solid thing on the table in terms of their ability to open up the straits, get the straits open, enter into a very real, significant, time-limited negotiation on the nuclear matters. And hopefully we can pull it off. It has a lot of support in the Gulf. It has a lot of support globally. Every country that we've walked through it understands it's not just very reasonable, but it's the right thing for the world to get done. As the president said, he's not in a hurry. He's not going to make a bad deal. I mean, the president's not going to make a bad agreement. So let's see what happens. We're going to give diplomacy every chance to succeed before we explore the alternatives.
U.S. President Donald Trump said Sunday that a deal with Iran to end the war has not been fully negotiated yet, lashing out at critics of the planned deal. Our deal is the exact opposite, but nobody has seen it or knows what it is. It isn't even fully negotiated yet, Trump posted on his Truth Social. This, as Iran's foreign ministry said on Monday, a deal is not imminent. General Mohsen Razai, a senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader, also warned Sunday that the Iran war could expand to include the areas of the Red Sea, Bab el-Mandeb and the Indian Ocean. You could be expanding a war from which you yourselves will be the first to flee. You will flee from the heavy fire of our fighters, he said. He also threatened that Iran may withdraw from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Meanwhile, a Japanese-managed crude oil tanker that passed through the Strait of Hormuz in late April has arrived in Japan, becoming the first Japan-affiliated ship to do so since the Middle East war started. The Panamanian-flagged Idemitsu Maru, operated by a subsidiary of major Japanese oil wholesaler Idemitsu Kosan, entered Ise Bay in Aichi Prefecture in central Japan Monday. The tanker is carrying about 2 million barrels of Saudi Arabian oil to be processed into petroleum products at a refinery. Tracy Furness, TVB News.
The funeral of a blast victim was held on Sunday in the Pakistani city of Quetta. He was one of the 23 known dead when an explosion caused 2 train cars to overturn, also badly damaging some nearby buildings and vehicles. At least another 20 people were seriously wounded in the blast, conducted by the outlawed Baloch Liberation Army, according to a statement issued by the group. The oil and mineral-rich region of Balochistan has long been the scene of a low-level insurgency. Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif condemns the attack, calling it a cowardly act of terrorism. More than 24 people reported feeling unwell after a man allegedly sprayed a substance in the middle of Tokyo's Ginza district. Japanese broadcaster NHK reported that an emergency call was made after the man allegedly sprayed the substance near a teller machine on the first floor of the Ginza 6 shopping complex. According to another broadcaster and TV, a man wearing a dark-colored jacket and white pants was caught on security camera spraying what looks like tear gas, and Tokyo police is currently searching for his whereabouts. Most of the victims experienced severe coughing, and at least one of them is hospitalized. The Congolese regions under the control of the AFC M23 rebel groups imposed a mandatory quarantine of 21 days for people returning from Bunia and Ituri as part of their response to the Ebola epidemic. The provincial health director in North Kivu, the area under the control of M23 rebels, said Sunday they have put screening measures at checkpoints to ensure that people cannot enter Goma without passing through the quarantine site in Kanyaruchinya. Health authorities of Congo reported 904 suspected cases Sunday and 119 suspected deaths since the outbreak of the epidemic in the country a few weeks ago. Scientists in the Central African country of Rwanda are using traces of DNA left behind in soil and water to help track endangered mountain gorillas and other wildlife in its Volcanoes National Park. Known as environmental DNA, the technology allows researchers to identify species using genetic materials like fur or feces left in the wild.
The key component of habitat conservation is ecological monitoring. So ecological monitoring plays a key role when it comes to species detection, monitoring, impact monitoring. So we have then selected eDNA as one of the new technology to come to bring new solutions and to complement existing methods and approaches which we are using in ecological monitoring.
Conservationists say it also reduces the impact of human interaction during wildlife surveys in the rugged terrain along the borders of Rwanda, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The technology, more commonly used in marine conservation, was introduced by the African Wildlife Foundation in partnership with the Rwandan government to help develop a nationwide inventory of species. The technology could also help track how endangered species recolonize land that Rwanda is restoring from former agricultural use. Scores of residents and tourists flocked to Cheongchao yesterday to witness the annual Bun Scrambling Festival. Guo Kaming and Jenna Kung successfully defended their titles as Bun King and Bun Queen during their last night's championship. Take a look. A bang on the gong kicked off the long-awaited competition as 9 male and 3 female participants raced to the top of the Bun Tower. Number 1 Guo Kaming, a Cheongchao local and 10-time Bun Festival champion, and number 6 Kwok Chun-yin, the Bun King of 2012, were the first to make it to the peak. But former Bun Queens Wang Kaiyan and Jenna Kung were quick to catch up to the male peers, securing advantageous positions in mere moments. The Bun Tower is split by height into 3 sections, with most competitors aiming to collect as many of the highest 9-point buns as possible. While speed is of the essence, the effort would be for naught if competitors fail to place the buns properly in their bags. In less than 2 minutes, all 9-point buns have practically vanished. The participants scurried to the lower sections, hoping to collect as many other buns as possible before returning to the bottom. With just 30 seconds left, Guo Kaming was the first to make his landing. Participants are disqualified if they fail to return to the ground before the end of the 3-minute deadline. But the time limit proved challenging even for veteran Chung Yuk-chun, who remained stuck near the bottom of the Bun Tower after the race. With the tally counted, Jenna Kung was welcomed on stage with crowds cheering for the now 3-time Bun Queen. Kung said she was determined to be faster than rival Wang Kaiyan throughout the competition. She hopes the city's first astronaut, Lai Ka-ying, could also complete her mission the same way she did, by ascending to the skies and returning to the ground safely. Guo Kaming, having achieved his 11th Bun King title, emphasized the physical hardships he faced in the championship. He noted the heat and humidity dealt a blow to his body, and it took him a few seconds to really get into the race. Hong Kong International Airport's new Terminal 2 will commence operations on Wednesday. The Transport Department says authorities will implement relevant traffic and public transport arrangements. Starting from Wednesday, all airport bus routes will stop at the T2 drop-off area after T1, while services toward urban areas and the new territories remain unchanged. For those who will take the railway to reach the airport, the department says Platform 3 and 4 of the MTR Airport Express will connect to T2, have commenced service. The Space Museum has included Lai Ka-ying's information in the China's Manned Space Expedition exhibition. At the exhibition in Shimsha Chui, a picture of the Shenzhou 23 crew is shown. The museum also displayed an information board about Lai Ka-ying, the city's first astronaut. Some parents visited the exhibition with their children. Open in November last year, the special exhibition will run until July 6th. Admission is free. The 3-day Hong Kong Illustration and Creative Show entered its final day today. As of 4:30 p.m., the event has drawn over 30,000 visitors. Samantha Lee reports from the Convention and Exhibition Center.
When tradition meets trend, these fortune cat figurines appear with a brand new look. Ink paintings with surreal styles extend the imagination of the audience. Under the theme New Era, the 11th edition of the Hong Kong Illustration and Creative Show features more than 500 local and overseas creative brands. Every piece of handicraft carries the artist's creativity and unique story. Terence Chen traveled to some 200 public housing estates across Hong Kong and turned tape art into collectible cars. The series includes Choi Hong Estate, which will soon undergo redevelopment. He says he added a rainbow to the estate's rainbow facade, a popular backdrop for photos, and included text introducing the estate's unique features on the cards. Local illustrator Pierre Hay Yuan brings the already demolished Yamate Car Park and Kai Tak Airport back to life through virtual reality. The creator says Hong Kong is famous for its dense old buildings, together with neon noise and rain, which create a cyberpunk feel. Through these artworks, he hopes to evoke nostalgia and inspire people to cherish local culture. Also joining the exhibition lineup is a popular cat-themed illustration brand from Taiwan. Ms. Choi says she spent over $1,000 on products from her favorite character brand. Also browsing the exhibition are tourists from the US.
I've been buying a lot of stickers from different artists at the exhibition. Also jewelry, like handmade jewelry. I mean, it's just incredible, all of the different stalls. I mean, it's huge, right? There's so many different artists with such unique styles. So yeah, you could just wander around for hours.
Apart from product sales, a local illustrator is on site providing live sketching for participants. Do you think the drawing looks like me? Samantha Lee, TV News.
And that's the news. Thanks for watching.